answer that? No, I was going to segue us over to the XG and XAs. So
let's move on. Let's move it on.
Lovely. So same kind of format as we have done, as we did last week, and I think the week before. Top 3 XG and top 3 XA performers from the last 5 game weeks we want to cover.
Cool.
And start with the XGs. I'll kick it to you, Jack. Number 3, the third spot. It's Bobby Firmino, still there. He's injured currently, so not too much to talk about with Bobby.
Yeah.
But we could maybe expand this point to discuss him as an asset, but also, comparing to Jota, which a lot of people are talking about as well. But Bobby, if he were to be fit tomorrow, I don't think that's going to be the case, because I think Klopp described his hamstring injury as being quite bad. We don't know how long that's going to be yet, but I guess that's just going to be a case of, Mane, Jota are going to be a lot more guaranteed for minutes going forward.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. I think, it's a bit of a shame Bobby's still in this top 3, because, as you say, he's injured. But it shows the power of Liverpool, how good they've been, how dominant they've been over the last month or so. And yeah, the first loss against West Ham there. Bobby being injured, we'll come on to Jota, I think, in the quick fire questions later. But it says a lot that it's him there rather than Mane or Jota. I mean, he was having a great season, so you got to feel a bit bad for him and his owners there. To be in this top 3 with just 273 minutes is impressive. Is impressive. It just showed how well he was doing. But yeah, I mean, I think when he emerged in these charts, we were like, well, we still don't really recommend getting him because he's a striker. It blocks you some other Liverpool slots, and there were other striking options. But I actually think now, if he was still around, I'd actually think now we might want to look at him, because the striking options have suddenly dried up. But yeah, it is what it is with Bobby. He's out for quite a while, isn't he, I think?
We haven't had a timeline, but it was described as a bad hamstring injury, which we all know is going to be weeks upon weeks, isn't it? So we'll wait to see, but not anytime soon for sure. So from our short-termish, 3, 4, 5 game weeks, doesn't look like he's going to be back for those, but we'll keep it ear to the ground.
Yeah, there we are. Who's in the number 2 spot?
It's Mohamed Salah. So we said so much about Mo. I mean, we're spoiled really in the fact that we can just continue to captain him and get an assist again. It's just guaranteed returns, really. 5 goals, 5 assists. We've only seen, an assist for each of the last 2 games, but still seeing him in this chart at number 2, there's nothing to worry about for me. What about for you?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, 5 goals, 5 assists in 5 games is incredible. Absolutely amazing. I do think we will start to see, because the last 2 games haven't been as explosive as the prior ones, even though he's returned. I think we'll start to see that combined with people's natural feelings of boredom and wanting to be different and thinking they're better than the crowd and picking a better captain. I think more and more we'll see other captains be selected over him. But to me, that's just good news, because I'm just going to keep whacking that armband on Salah. And the more people that don't pick him, the more of a plus it is for me when he hauls. Yeah, he's as close to a sure thing as I think we've ever had in FPL. Looking back on the Aguero days, the Suarez days, the Lampard days, I mean, it feels like those days again. Just having that set and forget captain it's rare. It's rare, and it's great to have when it comes. So I think use it.
It's a rare, beautiful thing. Thanks, Mo.
Yeah, indeed, like a double rainbow. There it is, Mo Salah. But he's off the top spot, Josh. He's off the top spot for the first time in a long time. Who's at number 1?
He's been eclipsed by the Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And I know it seems funny for us to be saying, he's the number 1 spot for XG when, he's just missed a penalty this game week. But 2 goals, 1 assist in the last 5, an XG of 3.63. Can we take this as a good sign of his potential points in weeks to come? I mean, I'm just going to look at the Arsenal fixtures now. Liverpool next, obviously that's not great, but then Newcastle, but then we got United, then Everton, then Southampton. So kind of mixed in the short term, but over the 5, there's some quite nice fixtures there for Arsenal assets.
Yeah, I mean, I bet a lot of this XG was built up in that weekend's game, but he had an absolute shocker, not just with the penalty miss, but he messed up for Saka's disallowed goal. So he should have, if he controlled that better, he would have been onside and controlled it well and scored it, because it was basically an open goal. Instead, he mistouched it to Saka, who was offside, who finished it. So there's one mess up from him. And then Odegaard's goal, he should have left it instead of tapping it in, and he was offside for that. So I think that, I don't know if that counts as on his XG, like him finishing that Odegaard goal. I'm guessing it doesn't because it was offside. But yeah, the missed penalty would have counted for a lot, and generally had a poor game. That being said, he is getting in the positions, and he is doing well. He's done well weeks gone by, and he's looking happier, and he's looking more like the Aubameyang that we've seen in seasons gone by. So as a Kane owner, I'm thinking Aubameyang's 10 million, Kane's 12 million. There's not many other striking options. 2 million less. Is Kane got a fire under Conte, or is he still a bit jaded? Yeah, I've definitely got my eye on Aubameyang.
For this game week, you'd bring him in against.
No, probably not for this game week. So again, we'll come on to our plans, but I probably will roll it. But going forward, Aubameyang's definitely on my radar.
Interesting. Yeah, can't argue with that.
Good stuff. So XA, let's switch the table up a little bit. So I'm using Understat. If you're watching the screen here, brilliant website, understat.com, for all your statistical needs. So XA top 3. Josh, number 3. He was in the chart last week. I believe he's dropped a position, but still in the top 3. Who we got?
It's the Bilva. It's Bernardo Silva. So, he continues to be getting consistent minutes under Pep. So cue him being dropped next week. But no, 2 goals, 1 assist in the last 5. Good XG and XA numbers. 1.68 for the XG, 1.75 for the XA. So, potential points from both sides of the column here. The conclusion we came to last week was, do you want to get in this Pep roulette? You probably want to get in it if you're if someone puts their head above the parapet at that City team and starts putting in performances consistently and getting points consistently. Are we saying that is the case for Silva, or are we still saying it's too soon?
For me, he looks great. He's the hot asset in City now. It's sort of him and Foden are both looking good. But for me, it's just, again, I don't want the headache, and there's no guarantee. There is absolutely no guarantee, because we've been here early in the season. Grealish was the man he was picking every game, suddenly dropped. Now Bilva's in. If Torres comes back, will Bilva be out? I just don't know. Is Sterling going to get a run? Mahrez? There's just so many options here. If you brought him in, I know our good friend Danny brought him in before people were talking about him, and he's reaped the rewards, and fair play. Well done for spotting that trend. But I think for me, it's too late to jump on the train, because I think there could be any day he could be dropped down, and that goes for any of those City attackers. So for me, it's an avoid still. What about you? Are you tempted?
No, I think there are other assets at his price point and cheaper. He's around about 7 mid, isn't he? Where that risk doesn't come. And I think you're right. We're getting the impression that he's an overperformer at this moment in time. He's overperforming and getting more points than is, typical for him. Of course, he could continue to do so, but the general feel is that it will drop off. And so maybe we've seen all the best so far. But I think, there's some hot property at kind of the 6 mil and below even that are more consistent than him, the Rafinhas, the Gallaghers, etc., etc. So I don't think you need to look in that direction and have that risk.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point as well. Yeah, the fact he's in the mix with all those other hot mids doesn't do him any favours. If he was a striker, maybe we'd be having a different conversation. But yeah, I think I'd avoid. I would avoid.
Avoid.
Yeah, great player though. Great player.
Like him, great guy.
In the second spot, Josh, we've got a first time appearance for this man.
Debut.
In the assist chart. Who we got?
It's the Cho. It's Callum Hudson-Odoi. So he's only played 4 times, had 4 appearances in the last 5, with 316 minutes. Yeah, his XA is at 1.8, but he's only scored 1 goal with 0 assists. So are we seeing here, that cautionary tale of the stats aren't everything? And is he a bit of a red herring? What do you think, Jack? Can you be interested in it? I mean, his price
Yeah.
point is
Is he a
5.3.
defender? Is he a defender in FPL?
He's a midfielder.
He's a midfielder, yeah. So I think you might be right. I mean, very talented player. I think any Chelsea fans, I feel like, have been banging on about him for years, really, Joey. But yeah, I don't think, again, similar to Bilva, he's not a guaranteed starter. His minutes show it. He's not guaranteed on the team sheet at all. And it's a surprise to see him in it. Fair play. He's obviously been. Chelsea have been dominating teams, I think everyone would agree, just lacking some finishing in some games, particularly the weekend against Burnley. But hell of a differential if you want to go for him. But I wouldn't be surprised if next game he's not on the team sheet or he's on the bench. So with that in mind, that trumps everything for me, and he's not worth getting. How much is he in FPL?
5.3 mil
Yeah,
currently.
so very cheap. But I mean, it's not much more to get a Gallagher who has that talisman factor about him. So, and same with the Smith Rowe. So I think if you're lumping him in with those two, then I just feel, there's better options for you. But good to see you in there, Joe.
Yeah, Joe, fair play. I mean, I would agree with what you're saying. Minutes wise, he's only actually had appearances in 5 of the 11 game weeks so far, and in none of them has he played 90 minutes. I mean, he's got, the 87 minutes, 84 minutes, 81. You could say that's as good as getting 90 in a team like Chelsea, but that's a big red flag for me. And,
Yeah.
they've got, especially in their midfield, we talk about, their defense, there being so many good options, but their midfield is just stacked as well. They've got the Pulisic who's coming back, Ruben Loftus-Cheek's in the mix, Mount has missed a few games for sickness and other reasons. I mean, it's got to be, thinking his spot if he when he gets some minutes together. So again, could have missed the boat on Cho.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the boat was. I don't think there was even much of. It's a little dinghy.
No boat. It's
In
a
my
raft.
opinion, it's barely a boat. It's a model boat in a bathtub. So yeah, sorry, Joe. I mean, keep developing, keep going, and maybe you'll make your way into our teams
See you in the future.
in the future. But yeah, well done, but no thanks again. We're not liking these sisters, Josh, but I think we will like number one, and I don't think we need to talk about him. It's Mo Salah, super high XG, super high XA. Got a lovely assist for Trent against West Ham, and yeah, what can we say? Are you in the perma? We won't, because we're not going to talk about the Salah perma captaincy much later. Are you still perma cap Salah? Are you looking to do that next, or are you getting a bit tempted with other options?
I'm not. I'm a bit concerned about Liverpool's performances overall, but I'm not concerned about him.
Yeah.
And I think he has given us no reason to doubt it. He's still, consistently returned points like no other asset. So perma captain for me still.
He's the best player in the world, in my opinion, at the moment.
Oh, nice.
I mean,
That's a big shout.
I mean, I don't watch any other football in the Prem, so it's a meaningless comment from me. But from what I gather, maybe Lewandowski, I hear he's good, but apart from that, he's class. So definitely the best player in the league. So let's move on. We've done it.
That is
XG and
XA.
See you later. So little break.
Little break indeed. We'll take a little break and we will then come back with the quickfire questions.
Happy days.
See you in a sec.